People who can't talk aren't family, my son said angrily. We're giving her to the old lady. Leave, added his wife. I was shocked. What are you doing? Ignoring me, they kept insulting my granddaughter, who was holding her hurting cheek. Unable to tolerate it any longer, I hugged my granddaughter protectively and left with her, leaving my son and his wife behind. 10 years later, when we came back to our home country, my son and his wife came to see us. We miss you. We're family. Let's live together, they said. People who act foolishly aren't family. Please go back, I replied, rejecting them. My name is Margaret Patterson, and I'm a 60-year-old housewife. A while back, I lost my husband, and since then, I've been living alone in a big house. I thought about moving in with my son Jack and his wife Mary, but I felt it would be better to have our own space. Plus, if I lived with them, I might end up having to help out at the bar they own. My body isn't as strong as it used to be, and honestly, I'm not great with customer service. Living and working together would probably stress us all out, so I decided against it. Jack never even suggested we live together after my husband passed away, and I appreciated that. I finally felt free from raising children and taking care of my husband, so I wanted to enjoy my alone time. But once I started living alone, it felt lonelier than I expected. I didn't have many hobbies or friends because I spent most of my time doing housework, raising my children, and looking after my husband. I spent my days watching reruns of TV shows just to pass the time. Whenever I tried to start new routines or hobbies, they never seemed to stick. For me, the highlight of my dull days was spending time with my two granddaughters, Emily and Lily. Emily is 10 years old and Lily is 6. They're both adorable girls. Emily is beautiful and acts mature for her age, while Lily is a bit clumsy and quiet. She often gets compared to her older sister and feels left out. I love both of them, but I feel especially close to Lily. I can tell she doesn't get much love from her parents or sister, and it breaks my heart. Every couple of months, my son Jack and his wife, Mary, would bring my granddaughters to visit. Emily would rush to me, full of joy, her innocent smile lighting up the room. She always looked so neat in her new clothes, with her hair perfectly styled. But Lily, on the other hand, wore Emily's old clothes, and her hair was often messy. She used to be talkative, but lately she seemed quieter and more withdrawn. Unlike Emily's bright smile, Lily often looked sad. After greeting Emily, I knelt down in front of Lily and spoke gently to her. Lily, my dear, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today, I've prepared some of your favorite sweets. Let's enjoy them together. Okay, Grandma, what about my sweets? Don't worry, Lily. I've got some for you too. Let's go have them together. As I walked hand in hand with the girls, Jack and Mary stepped out of the car and greeted me. Hi, Mom. It's been a while. Here's a souvenir for you. Oh, thank you. How have you both been? Feel free to make yourselves comfortable. Thanks, Mom. I warmly welcomed my son, daughter-in-law, and granddaughters into my home, serving them tea and treats while we chatted. However, I noticed that Jack and Mary only seemed interested in talking to Emily, completely ignoring Lily. Whenever I tried to engage Lily in conversation, Emily would interrupt or Jack and Mary would change the subject. I was worried about how they were treating Lily, but I didn't want to cause any conflict, so I silently observed. But later I realized that not speaking up was a mistake. One day, I went to visit Jack and Mary's house, bringing along some sweets for everyone. As I reached to ring the doorbell, I overheard Jack shouting from inside. Why are you always so quiet? Can't you say something? I was startled. As I reached for the front door, it opened easily. Without hesitation, I took off my shoes and made my way down the hallway. Upstairs, I could hear voices. You know it's because you don't talk at school that I feel embarrassed, right? As I climbed the stairs, the shouting continued, followed by a sharp, dry sound. When I opened the door where the noise was coming from, I saw Jack and Mary scolding Lily, who was sitting on the floor, while Emily was holding her hand as if in pain. Lily looked like she was about to cry, holding her cheek, while Emily seemed to be in pain, waving her hand around. Hey Lily, did your sister hit you? Why don't you say it hurts? If you can't speak, then you're not part of this family. Leave. We'll send you away. What on earth do you think you're doing? I pushed past my son and his wife, and Emily immediately hugged Lily, who was sitting on the floor, to shield her. I gave them a stern look. They were taken aback for a moment, but then composed themselves. Mom, why did you just barge in like that? You should have knocked first. Jack scolded. Yeah, Margaret, that was quite rude of you, Mary chimed in. What's truly rude is how you're treating this little girl, I retorted firmly. Jack, aren't you supposed to be a father? How can you stand there and berate your own child? And Emily, why did you hit your sister? It was the first time I raised my voice at Emily. She appeared frightened for a moment, then hung her head and murmured, I don't know. Mary quickly pulled Emily into a hug and shot me a hostile look. Please don't blame Emily, she said sharply. I met Mary's glare with an unwavering gaze. Shielding Emily after she hurt her sister isn't how a mother should react. Jack, who had been observing, pointed accusingly at me and shouted, Mom, what's gotten into you? Leave that fool alone. The real fools here are you two. Apologize to Lily, I demanded, standing my ground. Was going to apologize? None of them seemed remorseful and continued to insult Lily without hesitation. Lily, nestled in my arms, weakly clung to my clothes, her expression vacant. Had they been mistreating her like this all along? Before I could fully process the situation, I lifted Lily protectively and declared, I'll be taking care of Lily. I can't leave her here. With that, I stormed out of the room, leaving the three of them stunned behind me. After a moment of stillness, Jack hurried after me, a smirk playing on his lips. Thanks, Mom. I didn't know how to deal with this mute. Stunned by my son's callous words, I was taken aback when Mary emerged from behind him, holding a worn-out bag and a backpack. Here are Lily's things. Please take care of her, Mary said brusquely, thrusting the bags into my hands. Lily and I exchanged shocked glances as we looked up at the faces of my son and daughter-in-law. It was evident that they were pleased to see Lily leaving their home. Stunned by what had transpired, I left their house without uttering a word. In silence, Lily and I returned home, where I gently removed her shoes at the entrance. Then, I noticed Lily sniffling. Looking at her tear-streaked face, I saw her biting her lip, clearly upset. I embraced Lily tenderly, comforting her with soft pats on her back. Lily, I know it's been tough for you. I'm sorry I couldn't intervene sooner, but things will be different now. Grandma is here for you. I will protect you. From that day onward, Lily and I began living together. Because of the pain she had endured from her parents, she stopped speaking altogether. Even a simple good morning seemed beyond her ability to vocalize. Her teacher informed me that she couldn't communicate with her classmates or teachers at school. Concerned, I took her to the hospital for a checkup, where Lily was diagnosed with selective mutism. The doctor explained that the severe stress caused by her parents and sister had triggered intense anxiety and fear, rendering her unable to speak, no matter how hard she tried. However, the doctor reassured me that as Lily adjusted to her new environment, she would gradually regain her ability to speak. On the journey home from the hospital, I bought Lily a cute notebook and a pen. Listen, Lily, if there's anything you want to say to me or anyone else, write it in this notebook. Draw pictures or write words, then try saying the words out loud, even if it's just a little bit at a time, okay? Lily eagerly opened the notebook and started writing with the pen. As I watched quietly, she showed me the page she had been working on. It said, "Thank you, Grandma," with a little drawing of my face. Lily then tried to say the words aloud, but she struggled and looked down, feeling disappointed. "Lily, you're doing really well. Keep going, one step at a time. You're doing great, gold star for you," I encouraged her as I gently patted her head. Lily looked up and managed a small smile. Lily began using the notebook and pen I gave her to communicate at school, and it seems she's gaining confidence. Over time, she gradually learns to speak, and 2 years later, she's able to talk normally. Grandma, let me tell you about today at school." Every day when Lily returned home, she eagerly shared the events of her day with me. Seeing her fully recovered and full of life filled my heart with joy and relief. Then one day, I attended a parent-teacher conference at Lily's school. As we entered the classroom, a friendly-looking teacher greeted us. Both Lily and I greeted her back with a cheerful "Hello, teacher," before taking our seats. As I discussed Lily's progress at school and at home, she sat nervously in her chair. "Lily's grades have been steadily improving since last year. Take a look at her report card," the teacher said, showing us her grades. The chart showed a consistent upward trend since Lily started living with me, with a significant improvement recently. I'm sure her dedication to studying is paying off. She's been tackling difficult books and solving complex problems almost every day, I said, giving Lily's head a gentle pat. Ever since she found her voice, she had shown a keen interest in studying at home. She would dive into challenging books and tackle difficult problems, and on test days, she'd proudly present me with perfect scores. I framed and hung up all her perfect test papers, feeling a swell of pride every time I looked at them. I see. In that case, how about having her take an IQ test at the hospital? Suggested the teacher. IQ test? I asked for more details, and the teacher explained. Lily might be gifted. Gifted? I repeated, unsure of what it meant. The teacher clarified that gifted children are naturally very intelligent. Lily seemed to possess a level of intelligence comparable to, if not exceeding, that of an adult. The teacher suggested that it might be beneficial to have an IQ test done so we could ensure she receives an education suitable for her exceptional talents. So without hesitation, I took Lily to the hospital for an IQ test. As the teacher suspected, Lily was indeed gifted. I was astonished to discover Lily's exceptional ability. When I asked her how she found her studies in elementary school, she responded with a bored expression. To be honest, it's too easy and boring. I want to study something more challenging, but when I tell the teacher, they seem confused, she explained. Her words got me thinking, could Lily pursue the kind of studies she desired in America? It seemed like the subject she wanted to delve into were at a middle school or high school level. But could Lily, who hadn't even finished elementary school, handle that? I discussed this with her homeroom teacher, who told me about the grade skipping system in the U.S. The teacher suggested that if Lily went to America, she could pursue the challenging studies she desired. It dawned on me that my late husband's brother was living and working in America. Though we hadn't been in touch since my husband's passing, he might be able to assist us in some way. Upon reaching out and consulting with him, he expressed his willingness to support our move to the U.S. Feeling relieved, I proposed the idea of studying abroad in America to Lily. I'd like to go if Grandma is coming too, but I want to graduate from elementary school with my friends first, she replied. Okay, I understand. I'll also start learning English by the time you graduate, I replied. Lily smiled, relieved. She made many cherished memories in elementary school and graduated smoothly. Since we had exchanged contact information, she could stay in touch with her friends even from overseas. However, I decided not to mention the plan of studying abroad to Jack and Mary. I was afraid they might try to interfere if they found out about Lily's giftedness, possibly even trying to take her back. Lily quickly adapted to life in the U.S. and excelled academically by skipping grades. I supported her wholeheartedly. Seeing Lily enjoying studying more than ever, I felt truly grateful that we had come to the U.S. Her talent was truly remarkable. After a few years of studying in the U.S., she enrolled at Harvard University, where she studied business. Before I knew it, she had founded her own successful company. I want to repay my grandma, Lily said enthusiastically. For me, Lily has already repaid me more than enough. She's grown into an incredible adult, I replied, feeling immensely proud of her accomplishments. Her achievements garnered attention from American news outlets, spreading her fame worldwide. It's likely that Lily's name is now recognized globally. I wonder what Jack and Mary think of her success. I would be satisfied if they regret how they treated her. I'm used to myself. 10 years after Lily started her company, we returned to our home country for work reasons. Settling into a new apartment, we were surprised when the doorbell rang unexpectedly. Assuming it might be a routine notice, I opened the door without suspicion. It's been some time, Mom. Have you been all right? Jack and Mary stood before me, and I couldn't help but feel uneasy at their presence. I had changed my contact information and moved far away from my previous residence. How did they manage to find me here? I wondered. Ignoring my bewilderment, Mary called out into the house. Hey, Lily, are you here? It's your mom. I've come to see you after so long. What do you want? Please don't come near my daughter, I stated firmly. Don't be distant, Mom. After all, we're Lily's parents, Jack insisted. That's correct, mother-in-law. Lily is here, isn't she? Please allow us to see her, Mary chimed in. Wait, you can't just barge in like that. But before I could prevent them, Jack and Mary pushed past me and entered the house. As I attempted to intervene, Lily peeked out from the living room. What's going on, Grandma? Wait, who are they? Lily appeared surprised by the unexpected visitors. I felt awkward and turned my face away, unsure of how to react. Meanwhile, my son and his wife appeared delighted to finally see Lily. "Oh Lily, I've missed you so much. You've grown up so beautifully," Mary exclaimed, reaching out to hug her. But Lily shrugged off her arms. "If you want to talk, I'll be in the living room. I'll make some tea, so please wait there," Lily said icily, heading to the kitchen to prepare tea. With a chilly tone, Lily began making tea in the kitchen. Jack and Mary made themselves comfortable on the sofa and eagerly engaged in one-sided conversation with her, reminiscing about the past. Growing concerned, I called out to Lily, but she winked at me, indicating that she had it under control. Taking a seat across from them, I was immediately confronted with the main issue. My son and his wife's pub had gone out of business due to poor management. Additionally, their eldest daughter, Emily, had gone off the grid since starting work, leaving them clueless about her whereabouts and activities. With no jobs and dwindling savings, Jack and Mary were facing financial hardship. "Hey Lily, would you consider helping us out? We raised you until you left home at 6. So you owe us," Jack said. "Lily, we bet you felt lonely without us all these years, right? Let's live together again. We can make up for lost time and create new memories as a family," Mary pleaded. It was difficult to watch my son and his wife desperately pleading with Lily. While it pains me to admit this about my own son, I couldn't understand how things had turned out this way. Where had I gone wrong in raising him? Lost in my own guilt, I was abruptly brought back to reality by Lily's voice. "Idiots aren't my family. My only family is Grandma. Please leave," Lily stated calmly, a cool smile on her face that I had never seen before. "But Lily..." "Please wait," I interjected, but Lily remained resolute. She firmly escorted them out the front door, locking it with a decisive click. Peering out the window, I watched as my son and daughter-in-law walked away with defeated expressions, their shoulders slumped in resignation. "Grandma, what's on your mind? Should we consider moving?" Lily asked with a laugh. It turned out she had been secretly planning to build a house for us to live in together, designing it with accessibility in mind for my sake. "Thank you, Lily," I said gratefully. Blushing, Lily chuckled with embarrassment. Several months later, we moved into our new home. Thanks to Lily's thoughtful planning, I now live comfortably with all the necessary accommodations. Our shared memories adorn the walls, and even the notebook and pen we bought when we first started living together have their place. Every time I see them, tears well up in my eyes. Today, I think I'll cook Lily's favorite dish for her, I thought to myself as I made my way to the kitchen.